Hello and welcome back once again to North Toowoomba, where today we have the long-awaited Vario Panniers for the BMW R1300GS. Long-awaited is better than never gotten them, and I was finally able to acquire a pair of these. So today we're going to look at them. Of course, the Vario designation means that these panniers expand and contract. You can see that it'll expand right about here. So you can expand and contract these things based on what you're carrying and to better fit the load that you're carrying. The right side, which is this one here, expands from 24 to 30 liters of storage, and the left side expands from 25 to 32 liters. The maximum weight capacity is not super high. It's 10 kg per side. I will mostly be using these things for camping and maybe going to the airport and things like that. So 10 kg per side is fine for me. And you can additionally get another 6 kg in the top box. It seems a little low for a top box, but whatever. I wouldn't call these cases heavy, but they're not exactly lightweights either. The left case weighs in at 7 kg and the right case is just slightly lighter at 6.8 kg. So that means theoretically those pannier mounts can hold about 17 to 18 kgs per side, including the panniers. Today we have Enjai sitting in. Hello, puppy, which is why we have the bacon flavored bubbles. So taking a look inside these things, first of all, the reason the original ones were recalled was because they were opening up, in some cases, they were opening up and dumping the contents of the pannier all over the road, which is suboptimal for a pannier. So what they've done to deal with that is they've put this latching system in place. You just lift this latch up and out it comes. Looking on the inside, you can see the pretty typical bump that you get for a pannier that's on the exhaust side. This knob is the mechanism for expanding and contracting it. It spins pretty freely. We'll see how that lasts over the lifetime of these panniers. But yeah, it expands out a pretty good amount. To me, I think that's a good amount of space. Looking inside the pannier, you can see this has a couple of nice features. It has a light and well, not on this side, but on the other side. The left side one has a USB charging point, which the right side does not have. Okay, so live and learn. You might have noticed when I opened the bag up that this comes with a BMW Motorrad branded bag that is built to fit in here. It sits just under the light, and there's another bag in here that sits on top of that if you need it, which I'll show you in a second. One thing I find slightly annoying about these bags, or especially the right side bag, is the back is flat. That's a little bit weird. When it's in here, the back sits up against this, and all this space here is kind of wasted. I think that's suboptimal. Okay, switching over to the left side. First of all, you can see that this one does in fact have that charging point. The top box also has a charging point, and I don't think I would use a charging point on these, but you never know. I mean, that might work for some people. This bag, which is for the left side, has this zipper on the back and an area that you would put a tablet or something. So I think what they're trying to say is you use this one, you just run your charging cable out this bit here and into the charging port, which makes sense. It's interesting that they include documentation that is only relevant for one side. These bags also come with a shoulder strap, which connects here and here. That can be very convenient if you're using these for an airport run and have them filled up with clothes or something like that. That is one of my use cases, so I imagine I'll use that at some point. What I mentioned before, which is how the back of the bag is flat while the inside of the right side is not. I'm just going to show you how when you put this in, Okay, now it's sitting there. The bag is flat against the back, and you're losing a lot of space. If you push in, you can see that there's a lot more space there. BMW is a premium brand, and these bags were not cheap. The whole thing cost me about 2,190 Australian dollars. Hey, buddy. Out of which 1,800 was for the panniers themselves. The bags were a couple hundred more. I think if you buy the bags separately, they're $200 each, Australian dollars, which is a little pricey in my opinion. And then the rest of the money was for the cost of getting the barrels to match my key. While the panniers themselves are pretty much in line with what most other pannier solutions cost, whether you're buying something like the Lone Riders or Tour-Tex or pretty much anything else. The bags, I don't know if they carry as much value as they could because of that miss when it comes to how they fit in the back of the pannier. Maybe for you that's not an issue. I don't think for me it'll be a big issue, but I still think it was something to note. All right, let's throw some gear in these pigs, see how they stack up to carrying, and then throw them on the bike. Okay, so here I have most of the bulkier stuff that I bring with me when I go camping. My sleeping pad, a quilt for when it's really cold, my backup pillow and my main pillow, my sleeping bag, which is the bulkiest of all, campsite table, the poles for my tent, and the tent. I also carry a chair with me, but the chair is longer and it won't fit in any of these cases, so I'll just be lashing it to the bike. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take up this weird bit of space that occurs on the right side pannier due to the exhaust pipe, and I've found that my campsite table fits almost perfectly, so we're off to a good start. Let's see what's up next. The sleeping pad. Yep. The pillow, backup pillow, and the down puffy blanket for if it gets really cold. Now these guys, will they fit in here? You can see that they're too long in any one direction, and to get them in, I would have to take this back out, and ooh, this is gonna be a challenge. The problem is I want to make sure I don't damage them. Okay, this is going to take some thinking. I'll be back. Okay, I've dropped back and am punting. This is the right side pannier, and instead of putting the puffy quilt in there, and definitely not getting these in, so I have the tent, the sleeping pad, both pillows and the table, and that will solidly fit in there. Closed up. Bob's your uncle. Now let's fit the rest of this in the other side. This will fit in easily if it wasn't for these, but this is going to make it a challenge. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, this actually isn't as bad as I thought. I'm able to squeeze this into the back of this pannier. This is the left side pannier, the bigger of the two. And that'll make it easy to get the rest of this stuff in. The big old sleeping bag goes on top of that. And then the quilt goes in there. And yeah, that does it. That does it well. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Now, if you go with top-loading aluminum cases, you might have a little bit more room than you do with these. In fact, I'd almost guarantee you would. And certain things might fit in there easier. But that said, I think these are doing the job well. This job is the job that I require of it. Everything else that I have is going to easily fit into that top box. And if I ever really needed to go farther than that, I have a 48-liter dry bag that I could strap to the pillion seat for if I ever do a week long and I need to carry a lot more clothing or other types of gear. Okay, we're all packed up. Let's get these things on the bike. Okay, now we're at the part where we put them on the bike. This is not terribly difficult. I've done it a couple of times now. First things first, this tab here needs to be extended outwards. To do that, you put the key in the lock, you turn it back, this pops out. Then you can just pop it the rest of the way up. What that does is that moves these tabs into a position where it can be slid down onto here. And then these tabs push up against here, locking it in place. Anyways, now we pick the bike up. You can see the electrical contact there. I've already taken the little cover off it and it sits here. You know, this has a little holder for it, which is nice. Nice little detail. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna line this contact up with that, and you're just gonna slide it down on. And you push that in, pull out the keys, and you're good to go. And it's the same thing on the other side. When the key is not in, you can see the keyhole is perpendicular to the bike now. So if this essentially is pointing towards the bike, it is in central locking mode, and you can lock and unlock it. When it is turned parallel, it's pointing towards the lock. Now, the central locking does not work with this pannier, although you could still hear it on the top box there. But now to remove it from the bike, you turn it the other way. And now, okay, you turn that, slide that button up, and then this comes up, and you just pull it the rest of the way until it pops like that. It's a little stiff right now. I'm sure that'll wear in. And then you can just lift it up off the bike. Easy peasy. So that's really good. By the way, if you are enjoying this content and or you find it informative and you're not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Right now, I like these a lot. They work very well for me. Oh, let me show you the keyless entry here. So again, it's this, you lift that up to open it and then push it back down to close it. That locks it. Now it can't be opened. That unlocks it. Now, the things that I find good about it is the way it fits into the bike, the way you can expand and contract the size of the panniers to suit your needs. Same thing goes for the top box. And at this point, they seem pretty well thought out. They apparently were not right off the bat. And once again, a call out to people about these lash points. Does anyone use them? How do you use them? Let me know in the comments, please. But yeah, so anyways, for my needs, they work very well. They're just about the right size. They integrate nicely into the bike. There are some things that I'm still going to need to figure out. The chief amongst them is how waterproof they are, because it is a clamshell box, and clamshell boxes aren't always as waterproof as they could be, even though it does have a rubber seal all the way around that locks in with this, you know, kind of a two-walled thing there that should keep rain from getting in. But, you know, you look at the Ducati pannier system for their multistradas, that thing leaks like a sieve. So I'm hoping that's not true of this. I hope it keeps everything dry for me, or at least reasonably dry. The bags, you know what? If somebody would make a roll-down dry bag that fit perfectly into this, I bet you'd make a lot of money. I would certainly pay for something like that. They're not the biggest panniers in the world. Some people might have an issue with that. And those people should probably get some scaffolding on the bike and get top loading aluminum boxes. But that would be an interesting way to get top loading aluminum boxes on here that work with the electrical system of this bike. Things that I don't like, well, this aluminum shell, it looks pretty good, but if you look at my top box, you'll see this here, I barely touched it. Like this aluminum surface damages really easily. I've been told that you can get a protective cover for this, but you know what? I don't want to have something like that for something like this. Oh well. The other thing is, like I said before, the bags, the internal bags that BMW does sell separately to these don't fit, in my opinion, as well as they could and really as well as they should. That's not, you know, that's not a deal breaker for me. I think they're still going to come in handy when I'm making an airport run or something like that where I just want to pull stuff out. But honestly, I think the bag for the top box is going to work better. And I don't have one, but the next time I'm at my BMW dealer in Brisbane, I'm going to get one. I think it'll fit this box better than the ones in here fit this one. And I honestly think that the one that goes in here will be more useful to me, especially when I go grocery shopping or something like that. That's it though. That's the whole list of complaints. The list will be slightly longer if it turns out they do leak, and it'll be longer still if it turns out at some point that they fail. But the reason that I bought these is because I am putting my money on the fact that BMW doesn't want to be embarrassed this badly again. It was real egg on BMW's face when the panniers that were released with the launch of the new 1300 platform didn't work the way they were supposed to. So hopefully that's all fixed, and if it is, I think I'm going to be happy with these bags for a long time. Again, if you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear any comments that you have about these panniers. What do you think of them? Are they too much? Are they too expensive? Are they impractical in some way? Are you going to buy some if you're a GS owner? Or are you going to go with a more traditional scaffolding and top loader or even a soft case solution? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you next time when I go camping down in Armandale. That's going to be a camping trip purely for the sake of going camping, no other agenda. And I'm looking forward to that. All right, folks, I'll see you next time.